and welcome to You Rising, the podcast for women, where we explore and share about the unique spiritual journey we're on. And I'm, of course, Lorianne Rising, your host, an international award-winning author and a spiritual intuitive mentor. And this is Friendship Friday, where we just chat. So this past week has been really, really interesting, at least for me personally. So I know that I've talked a bit about this channeling thing and this sort of rediscovery of an intuitive gift and wanting to explore it further. So that's exactly what I have been doing. I went ahead and posted in a Facebook group I happen to be a member of, among people that kind of, share a belief in the spiritual world, and put a request out. Said, I think this is something that I can do. I would like to explore it. If you're interested, let me know and I'll do a reading. Just send me a question. And with the caveat that when I respond, I want your feedback so that I can get a feel for this, what's working, what's not. Is there an area that, really isn't sort of my thing? And it has been mind-blowing at a level that I'm not sure I can describe fully. But for me, being somebody who grew up in an environment where I was taught even something as basic as gut instinct just doesn't exist. People who talk about these things are just people who are out there to take advantage of you. They're making it all up. That's what I heard all growing up. I grew up in the 80s. Anything that was spiritual, tarot readers, witches, anything like that, it was always associated with dark, negative, awful things, somebody taking advantage, whatever. Those are the associations I have. So I have been very real world focused, tangible focused, research focused my whole life. I am one of the weirdos that actually enjoys research. And that's a good thing. And now here I am exploring this idea of channeling and being a channeler, having had zero experience, at least, up to that point, of this gift. So I put that out there and got way more response than I anticipated. So I'm actually still working through some of them. I'm really grateful. Some of the connections are going to turn into future episodes on You Rising. So you'll start seeing those as some of the Mentorship Monday conversations. And we'll go from there. Some of them are staying more behind the scenes and, they asked a question. So I just send back a little audio and they give me feedback. So it's been a combination of things. But wow, things I didn't know were possible. Like one person asked if I would be able to connect with her sister who had passed away. And I thought, well, I don't know. Let's find out. And so in my preparation, I really requested of my guides. I said, okay, give me something in this where she knows that it's for real, that I couldn't necessarily possibly know, right? So I do the reading. And one of the first things that came up was a sardine can with an olive in it. Now, I can't stand sardines or olives. It's just not my thing. But okay, fine. A lot of what happens for me are that pictures come up in my mind and I need to talk through them and interpret them. And as I do that, I get more information and a feeling and a sense of it and that kind of thing. And so then I can just kind of go from there. Well, that particular image, I explained it and shared it, but nothing else came from it. So I just, was like, okay, maybe this is something for you and it makes sense to you. And I went on with the rest of the reading. Well, in her feedback to me, she let me know that her sister, the person we were trying to connect with, loved sardines and olives. And it blew my mind. So there was the piece of verification. And each reading, however big or small the question has been, or specific or broad, maybe would be a better way, because they're all sort of big questions to the person asking, and I want to honor that very much. But some of them are, I want to say, lighter and more fun. Some of them are more serious. It's been all over the board. And I'm so blessed to feel that sense of trust that they're even reaching out and asking, and absolutely floored at the feedback I'm getting. So each one so far has let me know that there's been something in it that has been very affirmative, something in it that has been very clear to them that it's accurate and real. And over, there's this gift. And I'm like, okay. So I guess it's real. Me being the researcher I am, I'm actually still doing some of them. I'm still doing my research, my experimenting, right? And collecting the data. But it's interesting because I also had the hit this week to watch the first segment of The Matrix again, the first one in the series. And I watched it from a different angle this time and saw the spiritual journey Neo actually goes through, where, the first phase is that he starts getting messages he can't explain. Follow the white rabbit. Where did that come from? How did that message get there? He has no idea. He cannot explain it, but he follows it, right? And that leads him to somebody who gets it, gets the quest he's on, and he starts connecting with that person and others who don't believe he's nuts. The first one's kind of in his fear that don't believe he's nuts, right? And as he connects with them, he goes deeper. He's given a choice at one point, follow these messages that don't make sense. And in that case, for him and his adventure, it was, out the window or, go to jail. And he couldn't go out the window. Well, actually, he went out the window, but he couldn't get around the corner, so to speak. So he went back. I was like, okay, well, we all have those moments where we're invited into a huge leap of faith. And the first time, quite often, is this sense of, I'm not ready for this. Not happening. Nope. Not going there. And that's okay, because the invitation will keep being there, as it was for him, right? So the next phase is they find him, they help him, they bring him to Morpheus, right? And this time Morpheus hands him the 2 pills. Now he's got a choice, and now he's aware of what that choice means. And he's told there's no going back. There is no going back. And you can't really be told what it looks like on the other side. But here's your chance. You can back out now or find out everything you have wanted to know. And I feel like that's been this last week for me. Like, I decided to go down the rabbit hole, and I know at this stage that there's no going back. I've opened a can of worms, and learning what to do with that. And I noticed as I watched the movie and even thinking through parts 2 and 3, his character never pursues his power. He never deliberately tries to expand or increase the power that he has. In fact, he spends a lot of time, especially in the first movie, denying he has it, until it becomes so undeniable, even he has to acknowledge, okay, I'm a little different, and I accept that. But it's a process for him, just like it is for all of us. And that process, though, that pushes him forward is really about wanting to do good, wanting to be of service, wanting to help others. And as he does, his gift expands. So I'm hoping that's the process I'm in. That's my intention moving forward. And I'm really looking forward to how things play out. One of the things I was asked this week by one individual was, okay, well, what are you doing to reconnect with your intuition? Because there is a point at which I have to stop denying that it's there, and what can I do? So I let her know that really for me, it's been about journaling, meditation, and talking with others about it. I've even worked with a mentor or two along the way as well, who are incredibly helpful and supportive. There is nothing more valuable, I can say, than really having the other people in my life who don't think I'm nuts, who I can share things that totally sound insane to me and have it be received as like, well, of course, that's just normal. You're normal. And you kind of go, well, really? That's cool. Okay. And there's a sense of self-confidence that builds and self-esteem that builds, and it gives you the courage to keep moving forward. So that's where I'm at this week. I don't know where you are on your journey, but I'm still exploring, I'm still sharing, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to help others as well expand their own and reconnect with their own. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'm actually adding readings and other mentorship opportunities to my website. So if that's of interest and you want to explore it, I hope you will. And when you get on my newsletter list, over this next week, I'm going to be adding a wonderful new opportunity there too that is absolutely exclusive only to my newsletter list. So if that's of interest, definitely get on that list from my website. It's at loriannrising.com. So I look forward to staying in touch and seeing where this goes. And until next time, my friends, keep rising.